Good morning. Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
I think we're live. Are we pretty much
Are we live? Can you guys see us? Can you hear us?
Well, anyways, so earlier this week, we tore down both the Samsung Galaxy S9 and the S9 Plus, but we wanted to do it live so you could see it happen in real time. So today we're going to tear down the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus.
So we actually tore down the S9 over on our YouTube channel last week, so you can head on over to our YouTube channel and see that. And speaking of our YouTube channel, something really exciting just happened. We just hit our 400,000 subscriber mark, and that's really exciting.
Yeah.
And when exciting and awesome things happen, we like to celebrate, and what better way to celebrate than with some tools?
Yeah, so we are giving away something that has never before been seen on Ifixit.com. We've got our brand new Manta bit kit.
Yeah. Ooh. So this literally arrived yesterday. I think like half of our office hasn't even seen it yet, and it's so pretty. So there's 113 bits here, and they're all like really secure in this laser cut foam interior. And these drivers, feel that driver.
Super beefy.
Yeah, they're super nice. They're heavy. They feel super solid in your hand. They have the nice little swivel caps. Yeah, and I think my favorite part of this is the top of the case is actually a sorting tray, so you can put all of your screws and all of your components in there when you're doing a repair.
And if you've seen our universal bit kit, it's got the wooden box and lots of bits, all the 100 bits and stuff in there as well. But what's great about this kit is that if you flip it over, nothing falls down. It's like magic. So we're going to be giving away one of these today to one of you that asked us some questions. So we want to hear from you guys. Both ask us questions and let us know if you can't hear us or having trouble with the stream. But don't worry if you are, because we're going to post this on our YouTube channel later on. But then throughout the stream, if you guys have questions about the Galaxy or just like weird questions for us, not too weird.
Not too weird. My mom is watching. Hi, Mom.
Yeah. Hi, Mom. Mine too. If you ask a question, we're going to pick our favorite question at the end, and then we will announce the winner on our social channels.
Yeah, later on our channel later. So if you want to win, subscribe to our channel, follow us on all of our Facebook channels so you don't miss the announcement. Yeah. All right, so I'll get this out of the way.
Cool. All right. And so before we get started with all of these teardowns, we always want, well, we know what we're kind of getting into because we've torn down something similar before, and we tore these down earlier in the week. But the Samsung Galaxy S9, everybody seems to be kind of copying Apple when it comes to design and things, but the Samsung's kind of stayed true to itself. So there's they've kept the notch, the headphone jack, but one thing that is different about opening these phones up compared to an iPhone is the point of entry. So if you've seen our teardowns of Apple iPhones, you pop off the screen first, and then everything else lies beneath. Your battery, you can disconnect your screen, you can access your battery, everything from there. But with Samsung's, we're actually going to go in from behind. And this is okay. This is, the design is okay as far as repairability goes when it comes to replacing the battery, because as soon as we open up the back, you'll be able to see the battery and the ports and the motherboard. But it's not so great for repairing the one thing that gets broken the most, the screen on this thing. So that does make it a little bit difficult when going into repairs, because you kind of ended up with a full disassembly. So we're going to start going in from the back. I'm gonna go ahead and heat this up a little bit, so we know we're gonna be battling some adhesive in there.
Sounds good. And we already have a few questions. So Jordan, Ash, how long have you guys been tearing down things? Me personally, just about 3 years, and Ifixit as a whole about 10 years. 10 years, I think that's about right. We've been tearing down Samsung phones a little, not as long as we have iPhones. Other things that Samsung did, they didn't skip the 9. They didn't go from 8 to 10 like the iPhone went from 8 to 10. So that's fun.
Yeah, no.
Is it hot?
Yeah, it's pretty hot. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've always been kind of tinkering and taking stuff apart my whole life. I was also the oldest in my family, so I feel like when things broke, it was like, here, you fix this. But I've been with Ifixit just for a couple years, but we've been tearing down stuff at Ifixit for over a decade.
Yeah, it's a long time. So like Kelsey said, a lot of manufacturers copy Apple, especially Android manufacturers, and even when it doesn't make sense. So last year we saw Huawei and Meizu used Apple's proprietary pentalobe screw, which just makes no sense. The pentalobe is shallow, it's prone to stripping. Literally the only reason you use the pentalobe is to keep people out of the device.
Like most people would have a Phillips or a flathead, driver just in their kit, but not a pentalobe, so it just makes it...
Yeah, and the funny thing is that the pentalobe is only on the outside of the case of the iPhone. Once you get in, I'm pretty sure it's all standard screws, so there might be a tri-wing in there, but yeah, so they only exist to keep you out. Another question, Marco, why people don't take serious the repairs for phones. So why do people buy new instead of repair? I think people buy new for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
That's kind of a personal thing. I mean, people usually want the latest and greatest tech. But with something like the S9, really most of the upgrades just came with the camera. There wasn't a huge spec bump on the S9, as we're going to get into a little bit later. But, people always want the latest and greatest.
But manufacturers don't really make it an option or an easy option to repair. And I think a lot of people are kind of unintentionally forced into upgrading. If you crack your screen and it's not, or, damage something in your phone and it's not in your best interest financially to get a new one because either the parts aren't available or, Apple or other manufacturers are charging you an arm and a leg to get it fixed. So, but that's, a reason for right to repair. In a sense.
So Rena asked, what is the tool that you use to heat the phone? So this is a heating pad. Usually we use our eye opener, but we don't have a microwave in our video studio, so we just relied on the heating pad here. There's a lot of adhesive on this phone. Man, back in the day, I think it was the S3, it actually got an 8 out of 10 on our repairability scale because it was all bound together with screws, missing picks. And this one is just, it's pretty much a glass and glue sandwich. As you can see here, it's pretty difficult for Kelsey to get the case open because of all of the adhesive that is stuck in there. And the adhesive is really, really thick on the bottom of this phone, so around the bottom case of this phone, it's
all right, I have
all the glue, but she has the pick in, and she's using the force. Use that force, Kelsey.
There. So when we're tackling the adhesive around this, I'm actually going to kind of come around to the bottom and up the other side. On the right-hand side of the back of the phone is the fingerprint sensor cable. So I don't want to be super aggressive and just climb all the way up the top and clip that thing. So I'm trying to be careful, but yeah, there we go.
So this year they actually moved the fingerprint sensor, and so as you can see right there, it's off to the right instead of down below like we saw in the S8. Let me grab the S8 actually.
But I still feel like I would get fingerprints and smudges all over my camera.
Yeah, so we can do a little bit of a comparison. Yeah.
But I don't know. But I also use a pop socket on my iPhone if we take a second to look. So if I had a printer on the back, it might be, maybe more idea, but maybe not.
Yeah. So I actually don't have a fingerprint sensor on my phone. I am rocking an iPhone 6s, but my home button broke, so I'm using an aftermarket home button, and it's not paired to my logic board, so I haven't had a fingerprint sensor ever. And so I feel like when that glorious day comes when I actually have that again, it'll be pretty cool. So someone's asking why we're not heating the back cover. So if you just tuned in, we did heat it. We're doing a live teardown of the Samsung S9 Plus, and we did heat it a little bit. We might heat it a bit more, or we'll just break some things because breaking things is fun. But yeah, it's not easy to get open, and that's actually why we don't do teardowns live. A lot of people often ask us to do live teardowns, but usually we don't want you to watch us suffer through this part right now because it's kind of boring.
And we're trying to figure out with all these new phones, nobody's ever opened them before, so we're trying to figure out the most efficient way for the average consumer or fixer to do it. But yeah, sometimes that involves breaking things in the process when nobody has directions.
But that's kind of what we always say. We get devices so we can do a teardown. If we need to break our device so you don't have to, that's the goal. So we break things for you guys.
A little bit more.
Sounds good. So we are going to use our heating pad once again because this glue is a bear.
Suction cup. I'm just like, did I not have enough coffee this morning?
Do you want some coffee? I have coffee.
This guy's not popping off. There we go. All right, let's heat this up for a bit. There we go.
Oh, so Ariane is sympathizing with us. He said that it's not hot enough.
Not hot enough.
And he had that same problem. So thank you. We appreciate your sympathy.
And it cools really quickly too. So the second you take it off, like all that adhesive is just like hardening back up again. But we'll be able to give it some more heat.
And he also asks, is it the same design as the S8 and the S7? Yeah, they're pretty similar.
Yeah, the opening procedure is definitely the same, aside from that, the fingerprint sensor cable. But even once we got inside, I mean, I think the overall consensus from the teardown was just that it was kind of the same thing. Yeah. The camera, though, which we will take apart and show you guys and talk about in a bit, was kind of the meat of the upgrade, I guess, in a sense for this, or like the really the big upgrade for the S9. But
the rest of the things are pretty minor as far as the internal construction of the phone. So David, is this a waterproof phone? So the Samsung S9 has an IP rating of 68. And then if you're keeping score, Apple has an IP rating of 67 on the iPhone 10. All that means is that it's not waterproof. It's actually water resistant. Yeah. And there's a big difference. Everyone seems to think they can go deep sea diving with their phones, and that's not true.
Don't do that. But I mean, there are, as we'll get in, I'll point out like some of the gaskets and things around the ports that are protecting it from ingress protection. If you didn't know, the IP rating means ingress protection. So it's any point of ingress where the water could get into your phone. They've put measures in place to kind of avoid that. And am I not too close there? But as you'll see, we've got gaskets and things like that. So not waterproof, just water resistant.
Yes.
So when we get in, this is actually the S8 Plus, but when we get in, we'll see there's going to be some gaskets and things lining that so water doesn't get inside. All right. Should I tackle this again?
I think so.
Let's try.
I believe in you.
Somebody asked what tools we were using to get inside, I think. And so this is our larger suction cup. Works really well sticking to the back on here. Now that like these phones have glass and stuff on the back, it can be kind of hard for some suction cups to stick, but we've got new suction cups in all of our kits that have really good handles on them that'll just lock
beefy that suction cup, man.
Yeah. Get in there. That's another reason why we don't do live teardowns, because sometimes we'll probably yell at a phone, or
it's always easy to do things when lots of people are watching you under pressure.
Oh yeah,
that's my favorite way to do things.
Test me.
Come
here. My hands are also just kind of small. Yes. Okay, there's one. I'm gonna use some other picks to open it up down here. Ooh, I like hearing the adhesive kind of
crackle,
crunchy and crackle, and
things we get excited about. Ain't nothing like a good crackle of adhesive to get your Friday morning started.
All right, there's one.
Yeah.
We end up making throwing stars out of these devices. We put so many picks in them and just going at it, but it helps. So does anybody? I want to hear if people have horror stories from fixing.
We sure know we do. Oh, Galaxy phones. Yeah. I haven't owned a Galaxy phone yet, so I haven't actually tried to fix these little guys.
Help some people fix a couple. It's just as soon as they hear oh, you gotta take apart the whole thing just to replace the screen, people get discouraged, and it's no, do it. Let's do it. As you see, once we get in, it's not disassembly. There's lots of modular components and stuff, so it's not that bad.
So that's actually one of the things that we look for when we score a phone on repairability. People give us so much crap about how we score phones, but one of the main things that we look for are the components that are most likely to fail or easily accessible, and that is the screen. Especially for me, I think I've replaced my screen on my iPhone 3 times, as well as the battery. Batteries are consumable, and look how difficult this is to get into this phone. And if you were trying to replace the battery yourself, this would be a huge pain. It is a huge pain, and so you guys get to experience this pain with us. Real pain in real time. So something to keep in mind. All right, someone asked, will the phone still stay water resistant after the teardown?
So when if you're familiar with our fix kits, especially for battery and display fix kits, we include adhesive in there so you can reapply the display adhesive again and kind of maintain that water resistance. And if you have an older phone, there we go, sorry. putting new adhesive on actually, boosts up the water resistance a bit again. So to maintain water resistance, yes, but it doesn't, of course, as we're opening it, we're kind of breaking that seal.
And someone just recommended that we get the playing cards out. That's actually a really...
Yeah. I like this. I like the collaboration.
Ooh, do you guys hear that? She's just tearing through that adhesive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like 1,000 different ways to do a repair. We obviously design our tools and use them, and they're great, but we love hearing about how other people...
It was already broken, I swear.
We love hearing how you guys repair things or your repair hacks. Someone the other day, so we use our magnetic mat to keep everything organized, or you can use the back of some of our trays as a way to sort your parts and tools. But who was it? There was a story that someone shared with us, and they had all of these, shot glasses, and they put Magic the Gathering cards in them, which was super cool as a way to organize all of their screws. I've seen people use egg cartons. I've seen people use playing cards to open these things up. So there's lots of different ways to do a repair. And
okay,
Santosh says he uses X-ray films to open those stuffs. I don't know what that means.
X-ray films?
X-ray films, but cool.
Sweet. I mean, the X-ray photos that we get, we work with Creative Electron during our teardowns. You guys might have seen some of the X-ray images that we get. They help, especially with like a new device. You don't know like
what you're getting into. Especially the Apple Watch.
Yeah.
That thing was so small. Knowing what's inside before you get started and where to apply heat and all that good stuff is really helpful when you're trying to pry open a device. Can I assist you in any way?
Soon.
Sweet.
Super soon. I'm getting there.
And Leandra says hello from Brazil, and we say hello from California. Good morning. Or actually, I don't know what time it is in Brazil. It's actually probably not morning for most of the people on this stream. It's probably lunchtime.
Thanks for joining us on your lunch break.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, I'm KK. This is Kelsey. We are doing a teardown. Or we're trying to do a teardown of the S9 Plus. This is live, so barring we don't say anything too stupid, this will go up on our YouTube channel later today if you miss it. But we are giving away a new driver kit, the Manta driver kit, which is pretty cool. It's not actually available in our stores just yet, so if you ask us a question at the very end of the stream, we're going to go back through all the questions and pick our favorite one. And we'll be doing a giveaway later today on our social channels. So be sure to follow us on all of our social channels, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us in all the places.
I like it. Okay, so opening from this way, there's a cable connector here I want to be aware of.
And we're getting more suggestions to use heat. So if you're just tuning in, we've used a lot of heat, but we might use more. But Kelsey looks like
my hands are sweaty.
Has this handled so hot in here that her hands are sweaty.
Okay.
Wow, someone is tuning in from Morocco. That's pretty cool.
This is awesome.
Hello.
There's so many global friends now.
Yeah.
All right.
And so someone just asked if this is more complicated to open than an iPhone.
The adhesive's definitely tougher. I think if I wasn't doing it live, I'd probably get like a heat gun out and like maybe prime it a little bit more. But so more difficult, maybe a little bit. I would say there's definitely more adhesive in this phone, but like now that we've got glass on the back and the front of the iPhone, okay.
Oh, I heard it.
All right, let me get in here so you can kind of see this.
We also take apart iPhones like every day.
Yeah, so after a while,
it's pretty second nature to us. Oh, are you guys ready? Waha, the moment we've been waiting for.
Trying to get this up here.
Almost. I'm sorry. I was teasing you on that. And we had a few questions about the battery, and we have lots to talk about with batteries, so we're going to go ahead and save that question till later once we actually pull out the battery, but we'll make sure to go over that soon. And hello from Colombia. Oh, hello. Man, I am so excited to see how many people are tuning in from all over the place.
Okay. All right. Where is it not letting up? And I know I've got my connector. I don't want to lift this too far.
All right, and this is the moment of truth, trying to get this sucker open.
Last little part. so.
Whoop.
Whoop. All right, let me get my...
Complete with sound effects.
Let me flip this thing. Okay, everything's looking good.
Sweet.
I'm gonna get this out. Are you ready? There we go. All right. So here we have it.
Nice.
My pics are now inside.
You look pretty in there.
I do. So yeah, you can see how we've got the ribbon cable here for the fingerprint sensor, and it's not like right in the line of fire, which is good. They kept the ribbon cables out of the edge there where you were prying. But you can see how like thick this adhesive is, like all the way around the sides and kind of fighting.
Oh yeah,
it
looks like super gunky.
Yeah,
all
the way
there
at the bottom.
Yeah.
So, but there actually wasn't a whole lot of damage even to the adhesive, which is good because it means like even though I was prying pretty hard, it worked out. So, and then on the inside here, so we've got our wireless charging cable and our we've got battery underneath, our dual cameras, which we'll get into in a bit, but. What else?
So yeah, wireless charging. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
It's not really wireless?
No, just like hoverboards
don't
hover.
It really bothers me.
I mean, and it's cool. Well, it's kind of like your phone like hovers on the charger.
Yeah.
But
you still have to be plugged in. So you still have to have the charger plugged in, and then the wireless charging just sits right on top of that. So it's like fake wireless charging. It's not really real.
So I'm gonna start with happy to see just Phillips screws on the inside, not Torx, not like
not Pentelopes, nothing proprietary.
Very accessible here.
Great.
Get down there. Are we a 00? Okay, cool. But yeah, but now like Apple was kind of lagging on the wireless charging feature for like a while. I feel like that would have been a very like Apple thing to do, to come out with like a nice wireless charger for everybody else, but I don't know your life, Apple.
I don't know your life. Yeah, what was it? Was it 2 years ago or last year that they had the weird external battery pack? What year was that, Michael? The weird, it was like super off. Anyways, neither here nor there. It was just really strange. They came out with that external battery pack, which was very un-Apple-like. And that was pretty strange. And now we have people joining us from Egypt, Netherlands, Taiwan, India, Nicaragua. Wow, are you guys lying to us, or are you really from these places? Syria? Because this is like pretty cool. I'd love to know what time it is in all of those places. So feel free to let me know in the comments.
All right. So I'm working on all these screws for the mid frame, but once I get all these out, I'll be able to lift it away and get a good look at the battery and motherboard. Come on.
So little.
I know, so tiny. So I'm using our EET, our Essential Electronics Toolkit, which has the smaller bits that you need for like tiny electronics repair and tiny screws and stuff. But that Manta kit that we're giving away also has a medium and like larger size bits, like the P3.
Yeah, those drivers it has 2 drivers, so it's really nice. But for the Essential Electronics Toolkit, this thing is actually pretty cool. It's a $20 price point, and it has pretty much everything you would need for everyday repairs. And it's in a really cool case, and it's small. It's kind of, I call it the gateway kit to repair.
The gateway kit? I was going to say I call it the backpack, like to-go kit, but
it
could be the gateway kit.
The differences in our lives. Yeah, so it has everything that you need to get started with repair, which is pretty cool. I like to give these away to all of my friends as stocking stuffers and things, because it's a nice small little thing. Usually when you buy toolkits at your hardware store, they don't usually have the specialty bits for electronics. Yeah. And actually this kit just got reviewed by Popular Mechanics, which was really neat to see. I love seeing our tools in the wild. So that was pretty neat. We spend a lot of time developing our toolkits. You can always see Ifixit quality because we'll always have black and blue ones, so you know it's not a fake. And yeah, one of the guys that works on the tool team was actually our lead teardown engineer for like 5 or 6 years. So using all of the information that he's gathered from doing the teardowns, he definitely brings that into the tools that he creates, which is pretty cool. Great.
I think they look like, they're kind of saucy. I like the way they look. Like, I don't know, they look good like sitting on your workbench and stuff.
Kelsey likes things saucy, apparently.
Saucy.
So. And so how's it going? Are we pulling
Good.
off?
We're super close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more screws.
5 more screws. How many are there total? There's
5, 6, 10, 11, 12.
We can count.
Estimating. Another luxury of filming a video teardown is I get to fast forward through all the.
Yeah, usually we fast forward through these parts. Omar says he wants an S9 Plus so bad. Sad face. Well, you know, Omar, one day you might just get one. So keep hoping. Keep asking Santa. Okay, so it is 10:55 a.m. in Nicaragua. Thank you, Henry. Oregon farmers can fix anything.
Heck yeah.
Yes, they can. I agree. So working at Ifixit, we do a lot for right to repair. If you're unfamiliar with right to repair, we advocate for legislation that makes it easier for consumers to repair their stuff, giving them access to spare parts, as well as diagnostic information and repair manuals. And farmers are absolutely like leading the charge right now on that fight, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, because farmers are having a hard time repairing their tractors, particularly John Deere tractors. And it's because John Deere's made it difficult for them to read their like error codes and maintenance codes. And anytime they have a repair that's done, they either need to haul their tractor all the way to John Deere or wait for somebody from John Deere to come out and read those codes to them to tell them something simple like, hey, you need an oil change or something like that.
That's
really lame.
crazy.
And I mean, right to repair would require manufacturers to. And this is very similar to your car. It's not anything new. So the Right to Repair Act would require manufacturers to give parts, replacement parts and tools, and replacement parts. I think that would also sometimes include proprietary tools to repair, but to give them to independent fixers and repair shops. Just like we saw in the automotive industry. So could you imagine if you couldn't go down the street and get your car repaired by, I don't know, Joe Schmo? I don't want to go to the dealership for like every single little thing.
But you can. Right to Repair is all about choice. So if you want to go to the dealership, great. If you want to go to the manufacturer, that's great. But there should also be other options, and so that's what Right to Repair is all about.
Yeah, because like you bought your thing, you own it.
You should own it.
And as long as you're not going to like open it to reproduce it and sell like a knockoff version or to do something illegal with it, you should be able to get it fixed however you want. Because I don't really want a manufacturer to tell me like, oh no, you have to come to us and you have to wait. You have to send it in to get it repaired or wait for it to get it repaired.
So with Batterygate happening right now.
Perfect example of why we need more repair options.
Why we need more repair options. There's some states only have one Apple store, like Kansas. There's 3 million people in one Apple store, and imagine being an iPhone owner trying to get your phone repaired there and how long those wait times are. We read a funny article yesterday that the Apple Store is becoming more and more like the DMV.
Worse than the DMV.
Worse than the DMV because the lines have just gotten so crazy with Batterygate and people trying to replace their phones. Yeah. Awesome. So it looks like we are in the belly of the beast.
So we've got our wireless charging off and our first look at the battery and our teal motherboard, not logic board. Man, every time we make videos, write videos and teardowns, I always say logic board and like we have to go back and fix it. So motherboard. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. We've got a bunch of screws and connectors, but first, safety first, always disconnect your battery. And so I'm gonna go ahead and come in here and disconnect that. Oh, the bottom part too?
Yeah.
I got that one. It looks like it was underneath.
So as you can see, this battery, unlike the iPhone, does not have battery adhesive pull tabs. Pull tabs are a great step in the right direction. We like seeing them, but I don't know if you guys have done battery swaps on your iPhone, but the pull tabs, I've actually never successfully pulled one out without it breaking. Yeah. They almost always break, but it's good that they're there. It should make the pulling out of the battery a lot easier. But yeah, glue down batteries, man. There's just no fun.
Tabs are great if you prime them before. So I always tell people like heat it up a little bit beforehand because then they're a little more pliable. Or use an adhesive remover to drop it in there and to get rid of that stickiness. Because the pull tabs are great when they don't break, but they almost always break.
They always break.
You can see like the compartment is really tiny. So on the iPhone, you'd be pulling strips out of the bottom, and if you remove the Taptic engine, they're a little bit easier to manipulate. We don't have that here, so I'm going to go through. We'll take out the motherboard and things like that, but I shouldn't have to go through all that just to get enough room to remove the battery. They should make it a little bit easier.
Yeah. So let's just talk about batteries for like a hot sec. Last year we had exploding batteries.
Yeah.
this year batteries are slowing down old iPhones. Like,
which we always knew was the thing, but now
like,
Apple's saying like,
what
hey.
the F is going to happen next year? Are they just all going to like come to life and eat us? Like, I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm a little bit terrified. But yeah, it would just be so much easier to not glue the batteries down. Like, imagine how much cheaper the recall would have been for the Note 7 if they could just like pop out their battery.
I feel like it's something that manufacturers just really didn't think about when designing these phones. Like, well, they know that batteries only have like a 2-year lifespan, and they have to be replaced. So even if like the technology was fine, and or the technology was still up to date, the battery would still die. And I feel like manufacturers need to be responsible for that in a sense, like responsible for the product design and the end of life. Like, it's not up to me as the consumer. I just feel like they're kind of putting it all on us.
Yeah,
like,
they just make it
it's
real
up to me to figure out how to repair and replace this thing. And it's just bad because with every phone that's sold, that's another battery that's going to end up dumped. And e-waste is a really huge problem. So like the UN estimated that this year we're going to surpass 50 million metric tons of e-waste. And it's like, well, yeah, especially when these batteries are, need to be replaced every single year. But that's just phones, like not like the refrigerators that have LCDs and all these crazy, like huge, heavy electronics.
Like everything has a battery. So we actually partner with e-waste recyclers, and we hear from them all the time that, we think about batteries and like replacing batteries, but to safely recycle a device, you actually need to get the battery out of the device. And so what often happens is they can't. AirPods are a really good example of that. And so they go into the shredder and they cause battery fires at the recycling facility. And so like battery fires are a really common thing. I was talking to an e-waste recycler like a month ago, and he said they have like a couple of weeks because, recyclers don't have the disassembly information either to safely disassemble your device, which is a huge problem for anyone that's not using Liam, I suppose, because there's only like a few of those in the world. Oh, not perfect.
Apple's like, yeah, we're doing enough. We've got 2 Liams.
So
like, how many phones
is that?
So we've got some of the cameras from the array on the front of the phone, which is exactly the same as the S8 and S8 Plus. So you have your IR camera, your retina scanner, and things like that. But all that tech on the front of the phone is pretty much the same as before. I just got to take those out before, or I disconnected them. We don't have to take them out, but it makes it easier to take the logic board out afterwards. And I'm looking at what other connectors. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me here.
There's something really gratifying about popping off a connector, and I don't know why.
It is.
It's
like
just
oddly satisfying.
Boom. Yeah.
Same with the adhesive strips. You can stretch them all the way out.
Yeah. Just feels real nice. So what is that you're...
So we're taking off some of the antennas on here.
Nice.
I'm just trying to slowly work my way around to get this motherboard out.
So we actually don't know what this black meshy stuff is, right? It's on all the Samsung batteries. Does anyone know? Seriously, if you know, tell us. So this weird black mesh sticker thing.
And I guess there's actually a little bit of foam that's wrapped around the battery to allow for expansion, because when lithium-ion batteries
when lithium-ion batteries are in use, they expand a little bit because science, and so there's foam around the battery to allow for it to expand.
And there's a little bit of space in here too within the battery. So, okay, we've got all of these connected, and I've got a couple screws here to tackle.
Sounds good. And so if you notice, the battery, it's the same battery as the...
same capacity.
It's the same specs, as the Note 7, the infamous Note 7, as well as the Samsung Galaxy S8. So it's the same specs, and from what we can tell, it looks like the internal design, so the cavity that it's sitting in, is also the same. So Samsung must be real confident in their QA team because, I don't know.
Yeah, and it wasn't, the fact that the battery was glued down that made all these fires happen. It was like the design, of the battery. But it would have been real helpful if they did have some adhesive strips or an easier way to get inside, because then people could have just swapped out the battery instead of having to, replace however many millions of phones.
And so someone asked what we do with our teardown devices after they're torn apart. So we actually make guides out of them. So we partner with about, how many schools?
In the U.S., well, now I think they're like global, but I think it's about 50 schools here in the U.S.
Yeah, I think we partner with about 50 schools across the U.S. And we actually send them devices as a part of a writing project, and they make guides for us, which is great. So they learn technical writing, and we get guides, and you get guides, and we can help repair more stuff. And so that's pretty cool. So most of our devices go to them, and then after they're done making guides, we sometimes raffle them off for Christmas gifts at our Christmas party. Or we give them away to people at the office, which is pretty cool.
Pretty sweet. So that's another thing, if you didn't know about Ifixit, is that it's a wiki-based site. So nobody knows how to fix everything, but everybody knows how to fix something. So if you know how to fix something, you can also write a guide. And we're actually working on a video to show you how to do that. So that'll be coming out soon. But if you do know how to fix something, or if you have a gadget you just really like to check out the guts of, and you happen to take pictures while you take it apart, you should definitely write a guide on the site. And then I will share it with the world. Share it with everybody.
World.
All right, so we did get our motherboard off, and we'll check out our cameras that are on there in a little bit, and then I'm gonna go ahead and work on this secondary board that's got our
little daughter
jack board? and the charger on here. More screws.
So we have some opinions on what this black mesh is. So someone says explosion barrier mesh. That's a possibility.
Just keep it all in if it ever.
Someone else says wireless charging antenna will touch the battery without that mesh, and that can make a clicking noise.
Oh, weird.
Someone thinks we're pretty. Thanks. And someone is Kanye West. So
hey, Kanye.
Hey, Kanye. Very cool.
Song stuck in my head. See, we're gonna start singing now. Get ready.
Oh man. When Kelsey and I are together with too much coffee, we end up singing a lot.
Get ready. Cool. I love having the magnetized end on these.
That's really helpful. These screws are so small. They're so easy to lose.
But thankfully, these ones are all the same length. Like when you get into an iPhone, they're all different lengths. And if you screw the wrong one into the wrong hole, then you're going to damage the logic board and stuff underneath. So it's really important to keep things organized. We've got this magnetic mat, and you talked about people using like cups and different things.
Yeah,
like
you can use all sorts of different things to keep organized. So
okay, looking good. Let me get under here.
Oh, I can, is that the rain that I'm hearing?
It's raining.
So,
it's raining in California. Yes.
That's amazing. California has been in quite the drought lately, and we're finally getting some rain, so we're all freaking out.
Nobody knows how to drive on the road.
Nobody knows how to drive on the road. Everyone breaks out their Uggs when the weather is like 70 degrees, because that's a little bit cold for us. But we really need the rain, so we're happy to hear it. It's
sorry,
it makes work a little more fun.
Blocking the show. Coming out.
So what are you working on there, Kels? You're trying to get out?
I'm just trying to get the daughter board out, but there's some cables that are kind of pressed up against the side, probably with a little bit more adhesive, but I'm gonna work on trying. Oh, there we go. Cool.
Nice. That's my girl.
There we go. We got that, and I think you should be. Oh, there's a headphone jack. And out, and come around here. Oh, I can pop this kind of out.
So this headphone jack. So Samsung kept the headphone jack. I don't know if they kept it because they wanted to keep it, or there's also we suspect that. USB-C headphones and headwear are really rare and still really expensive, so I'm not actually sure if Samsung will move to no headphone jack in the future. I'd love to know what you guys think, but for now, I'm really excited about it. I am not upgrading my iPhone because I'm like staying strong and wanting a headphone jack.
Yeah,
like it's really important to me. Is it horrible? I mean, I know you adjust, and do you just
like
are
your
like
headphones and you want to keep your headphones? And sure, you shouldn't.
Do you just have a dongle wherever you go? Isn't dongle the funniest word to say? I just can't say it without laughing a little bit.
And I think most people have probably lost their dongle at this point. So
I wonder how many, all of the lost dongles in the world, just in the magical realm with the left pair of socks. They're probably all just hiding somewhere in an alternate universe.
Dongle heaven.
Dongle heaven.
Okay. All right, I think. headphone jack here should come up. It feels like it's like stuck in there.
And Arian says it's bad for DJs, which I didn't even think about.
Yeah.
It's very true.
My Boots cats.
Boots cats. Boots cats.
Okay.
So Omar says, I love the headphone jack, and why do you guys like using the iPhone? So we actually use a lot of Apple products here, mainly because we have a full parts store available and tools to us to replace things. So everyone on Ifixit uses a 2012 MacBook Pro. We use this model because it's the last year that they didn't solder down the RAM. And so you can swap everything out. I swapped in SSD to make my laptop faster, and it's a really modular, easy computer to repair. And same with the iPhone, because we just take apart iPhones so often. We have all the parts. I think I've replaced my iPhone battery 2 times now. I've replaced my home button. I've replaced my screen twice because I am super clumsy, so this is probably a good job for me. But we have all of the parts and tools available to us, so that's why I personally use an iPhone.
I use an iPhone just for, I don't know, when I was younger and just getting into tech, the interface was easier, and that's just like, I don't know what everybody had, but
So,
all right, so we have our headphone jack. Is out. It's so tiny.
It's so cute.
And there's the gasket that we were mentioning for the
the waterproofing,
the water resistance there on the end.
Thank you for water resistance, not proofing.
I know somebody would come back and be like, Kelsey and KK said that my phone is waterproof, so I decided to swim with it. Don't be mad at us.
No, don't do that.
All right, so there's the headphone jack, alive and well, and the daughter board's gonna pop out next here with our charging port. And what's
your face?
Oh, my hand's also just right in the way. It's so hard to think about, like, hands and the
do it this way.
Things.
It's like a cooking show, but cooking with tech.
So one thing that is good about this is we have this daughter board that's, you know, fairly modular. Just got to take some connectors to get a few things off, and then so you don't, if your charging port has problems, you don't have to replace the entire motherboard, which is, you know, arguably one of the most expensive parts of the phone. So having the separate daughter board is great because your charging port gets a whole lot of wear and tear. So that's one benefit there. And I'll keep this out just in case.
Do you want to talk about the motherboard at all? So if you guys want to look at, so we're not going to ID these now, but we did a full chip ID over on our teardown. So you can see the motherboard here, but if you're interested in all of the chips, head on over to our teardown. And we need to still take off some of those cameras. But I don't like it when people read to me, unless you're reading me a bedtime story, so I'm not going to read you all the chips on this board.
All right, so now, camera?
Camera.
I think so.
And Omar says, have you considered trying Samsung?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed. I'm just like so like integrated now.
Yeah.
I got that. I got an iPad for Christmas, and now I'm like integrated. But
yeah, I'm fully bought into the ecosystem. Also, I'm like the clumsiest person you'll meet. I've legit been in 10 car accidents. So having a glass on glass, just all with glue, is just probably all bad for me. So I don't think that this would necessarily be the best phone for me, but you know, you never know.
Mostly because I just don't like change. God.
I don't like change. Especially the time change. Did the time change mess up anyone else? Definitely messed me up a little bit. But I like that it's light out when we leave work.
I know.
We can now go and do some things. So I think we can pop those cameras out.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh.
Always like just, I got that one back in there. And push you out. They're so delicate and so tiny, and I don't want to bend that board. Should I put heat? Did you guys put a little bit of heat on this?
Arian says he has an iPhone 7 Plus, and he has 10 adapters to use my headphones. That's a lot of adapters. I would lose those quickly. I wish. Yeah, the dongle thing. For me, I lose things all the time, man. I just sound like a horrible person. I break things all the time. I lose things all the time. I wish I could put a tile on like everything in life. I have a tile on my phone, I have a tile on my keys. And I was just thinking about putting a tile on everything. That would be helpful. Maybe you could just put a tile on all of your dongles.
Totally manhandling this point.
Jamie says always protect your phone with a case. Yes, I would recommend always putting a case on a phone, but accidents still happen. Ooh, I'm getting some smiley faces. I like it when people smile at us. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and this fellow says he breaks 10 in 6 months. That's no good.
10 dongles?
I'm not really sure.
10 of something.
Not
Well, if you're
super
breaking
sure.
10 of anything, you should, I don't know, man. Try something different. Let's go here. I'm just like sensitive. I don't want to min. I'm just like punch this thing. Okay, there we go.
Ta-da!
There's a little bit more of that. Oh, there's some more of that black. This looks like kind of the same stuff that was on the battery. Okay, camera time. So there are 4 cameras in this phone. A ton. So we've got our dual aperture cameras from on the back. We've got the iris scanner camera, the selfie cam. Yeah.
So this is the first time we saw a dual lens camera in a Galaxy S series phone. We saw it in the Note 8. They had the same setup, but this is the first time that we have this in a Galaxy. And so the dual camera had 1 ribbon cable, and iPhones have 2. So that might make repair cost higher.
Yeah, another point of failure, but also with this, because we've got that dual aperture and the lens that opens and closes in there, that's also just another mechanical point, tiny little mechanical point of failure. So if you're having issues with your S8 Plus camera at some point and the lighting,
S9.
S9
Keep
S9
saying
Plus,
S8. We even put it on social media.
iPhone 8. Yeah, that could be just another point of failure on there. But what else do we got?
Yeah, so when
Here.
the image
All the way
stabilization.
back. Yeah, I was trying to find the little switch on there to do it. On the other side.
So when I read about the dual aperture cameras, it kind of sounded like there'd be 2 openings for 1 lens. No, that's not actually it. It just means that there's 1 aperture and it jumps around from f-stop 1.5 to 2.4.
I'm like blind. It's so small. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, everything's real tiny. And a fun fact, so there's no denying that Samsung did an amazing job with these cameras. The widest aperture we'd see on a smartphone was the LG V30, and that was an f-stop of 1.6, and this has 2.4, so that's crazy. And the aperture, it'll jump around depending on the light automatically, so you can take those beautiful, beautiful pictures that are circulating around the internet.
Yeah. Those are our cameras. Our battery's still in here. We can try to get that out. What else? What else we got?
Yeah, so just one more thing, like Kelsey mentioned with the camera, the aperture is a moving part. Are we able to do the...
Yeah, I was just switching it back and forth there a couple
cool.
times. So
Nice.
You should have seen it.
Yeah, so it's a moving part, which means it is another point of failure, so that is something that might need to get replaced. So something to keep in mind. It is really cool. It's a really neat little thing. Can we do it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're just tuning in, it looks like we have a few more people tuning in. I'm KK, this is Kelsey. We're taking apart the S9 Plus, and this is everyone's favorite part. So we see the image stabilization.
Yeah,
and
the camera's like wiggling around.
Yeah,
there,
so that's what keeps your videos and things nice and stable as we are recording. And then
there we go. You can see
yeah,
the 2
wiggle,
little
wiggle,
shutters
wiggle.
Wiggle, wiggle. There we go. Nice. Right.
And Santosh said the Huawei P20 is coming with 3 rear cameras. That's like a lot of camera.
I mean, so
I don't really know you
wide
why.
Angle, telephoto. Why would?
I don't know if that's real life.
Why would you?
Hyro, our video guy over there, is shaking his head. No, that's not real life.
I like seeing all the renderings for all these like new phones, like the new like iPhone and everything that comes out.
You guys, this is so embarrassing, but my cell phone is ringing, so I'm gonna go.
Turn it
off.
Maybe I think
it's my mother.
I think is it a duck quacking?
It is a duck quacking.
Okay, have it be noted that your mother's ringing is a duck.
I don't know who it is.
Your mom's calling. She wants to be on the show. No. All right. Coming with 3 rear cameras, but no, I like seeing all the different renderings, like 3 cameras or the fingerprint sensors underneath the screen. That's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, so there was lots of rumors about adding a fingerprint sensor to the bottom of the screen, but now with facial recognition as well as retina scanning, I don't think that's gonna happen, but you never know.
Let me see. I was gonna take out the fingerprint sensor here. Better just to push, maybe. I'm just always afraid of just pushing things out. Oh no, it's fine. It's all so delicate. I'm sorry.
So another thing the one thing that they probably are getting the most flack for copying Apple for is the emojis.
Oh yeah.
The AR emojis.
So, and yeah, we were talking about all these cameras. The Selfie Cam on the front is still just an 8
Still the
megapixel,
same.
nothing different.
All of the front-facing hardware on this phone is the same as the S8.
So your selfie game isn't going to necessarily get any better, but who needs selfies when you can use AR emojis? Do you think one day we'll all just go around the internet with like just animated emojis, like not with our face? That feels very like Black Mirror-ish, I feel like.
Oh, I can't watch Black Mirror. It just gives...
Makes my heart hurt.
It just gives me nightmares. Seriously, that show fills me with such anxiety that like I literally had to stop watching it. That and Breaking Bad, there's just it's too much. It's too much. What would your emoji be?
Oh, there's so much gunky adhesive. I wish it's like oddly satisfying. We need to make more oddly satisfying gooey videos.
I think we're the only ones who think this is oddly satisfying.
No,
I'm not actually
know what
sure.
I'm talking about?
Okay, if you think this is oddly satisfying, let me know. Actually, we're getting a lot of thumbs up right now, so you know what? Maybe everyone thinks this.
Well, like, isn't the like cutting soap thing a trendy thing? I think I saw Justine like do that, like using a sharp knife to like cut soap. That's like a nice,
see that because it like
cut.
shaves off really nicely.
All right, okay, come on, home button. I'm not home button.
Fingerprint
sensor.
Come
Who's doing it?
Come on.
Okay. This is adhesive, man. Just fighting with things. There. Okay. There we go. It's your little infamous fingerprint sensor / camera smudger.
Oh, it's on the other side. Yeah, that makes sense.
Lilac.
Not rose gold.
No, not rose gold. Like my phone. There we go. There's our fingerprint sensor. That's off. What other things? So, selfie game, emojis. What other cool stuff? I just like... what's your favorite thing? I want to ask people like what their favorite thing is, because there's always this battle between, like iPhone users and Samsung users. But like, what's your favorite thing about Androids? Because, just Galaxy phones.
What's our favorite thing about
Or Galaxy? What are other people's things? Try to convince us to... Okay, so let me see. Battery and... I don't have to really worry about that.
Oh, are we wanting to get the battery out?
I mean, we can.
Okay, so oh man, someone just put in a link about Black Mirror, and I don't...
Black Mirror related?
I don't want to do it. It makes me nervous. So instead, we are going to take out this battery. So this is Ifixit Adhesive Remover. It looks super scientific.
Yeah.
And
this is just... So it's good to use this in this case because we don't have those pull tabs, and there isn't a whole lot of room to just like kind of get in there and pry. And you really don't want to pry on the adhesive if it hasn't been primed yet, as you've seen the teardown. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in from there's a little bit of space at the bottom of the battery compartment. So we're gonna drop a little bit of the adhesive remover in there. I'm gonna tilt the phone so it kind of runs down because we've got adhesive just along the whole outside of the battery there. So would you like to do Diana's?
Man, I don't have... My hands aren't as steady as Kelsey's, so I'm just gonna...
Steady. If anybody's been watching this camera, my hands have been shaking. Ooh.
Definitely just got that on the battery. That's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right, and a little bit on that side. Cool. That should be good.
Did I get it on the other side, or should I?
I think I saw it like run.
I saw it run on the top of the battery, which is not what you want. You want to get it into that
on the adhesive. That's okay.
Maybe we'll pull off that black mesh. You never know.
You never know. But that's I wonder, if it's for the clicking sound. I guess you can hear it while it's like working with the wireless. That's crazy. Okay, so we sloshed it around a bit, and let me try. Here, bottom.
And looks like there's a lot more glue in there, which is...
More glue, but at least like at this point, you know, with iPhones, you still have your Taptic engine and all the stuff at the bottom, so it's in the logic board on top is really close, so there's like no room to pry. But at least now that we've done the disassembly, I can kind of
I actually
get my hands in there. No,
on my nice
magic, the magic potion.
We got really excited about that.
I always get excited, especially when you're like finding. And think about it, like think about when you're fixing your phone, you're like, please let me do this right, please let me do this right, and then it just all of a sudden comes out. It's just like a good hallelujah moment.
Yeah, there's nothing
Repair
more
is empowering. Oh, look at that! No, it came off like.
Oh, that came off great! Yay!
Nice.
Good job, tool development team. This thing worked like a charm. I'm gonna throw this over here. So don't.
Our battery's off again. Yeah, same capacity design and as the previous models and previous phones. So we're not getting any more charge out of this than you did your previous one. And that's all we got for that.
Nice. What else do we want to? What else do we want to show you?
The jack.
Yeah, we talked about the jack.
Oh, ports. So I was looking at the bottom of the phone. So I don't know if this bothers anybody else, but
can we grab the S8?
Yeah, we should grab a couple to compare. Oh wait, I have the S8 Plus here. So I guess Samsung has a hard time lining up their ports. And I know that there's like more to this than just like deciding, you know, where to line the ports. Like obviously these ports are, you know, in a certain position because of the way that the daughter board sits in there and things like that. But apparently people are giving Samsung flack for not lining up all these different ports. So if you draw some lines all the way across, you can kind of see how like the top of the auxiliary port doesn't like line up to some of the other ones, and some people, for some, you know, I don't stare at the bottom of my phone, so it doesn't really bother me, but like I think that's maybe why perfectionists love their iPhones, because it's just like totally perfect on there. But that's just like another little silly Samsung thing.
Someone just asked about what this liquid is. It's great, they want some. It's the Ifixit Adhesive Remover. I don't have the price handy, but you can go on our site, ifixit.com, go to our parts and tools store, and it will be there for you. We can also post a link to it whenever we get this video on our YouTube channel, so you guys will have that ready for you if you need to do a repair. So we actually developed this adhesive remover to do for the Retina MacBook. Those batteries are a terror to get off. Yeah, they're like totally glued in there. So if you just use a little bit of the adhesive remover all around the battery cells, because that's the Terrace design, right?
Yeah.
It'll get them right out of there.
And it's cool because it comes with, when you get this, it comes with like a little kit with like goggles and like everything that you need, and then
you can feel like a mad scientist too.
Yeah, seriously. No,
we probably should have worn protective glasses. Shame on us. That's definitely something you should do. Safety is always the most important part of repair, and this stuff is pretty strong. As you can see, it just like melted the adhesive in the battery. So you should definitely wear your safety gear.
Yeah.
I don't speak Spanish for someone asking me questions in Spanish, but maybe one day.
And Quintus says bye. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so we got our battery out and this guy. And what else? What else next on here?
All right, so I'm pretty sure that's kind of the phone. So let's talk quickly about repairability. So if you missed the beginning of the teardown, Ifixit assigns everything repairability score. The Samsung S9 inherited the same score as its older brother, the S8, which was a 4 out of 10. And the main reason for that low score is the liberal adhesive use. So much adhesive. Like, how long did it take us to get into the phone originally? A long time.
Yeah, and once we got in, there were, you know, modular components. You've got motherboard, daughter board, cameras came off. So once you get in, you've got screws and things, you know, it's easy to repair once you get inside, but because of that adhesive, it's just unnecessarily hard to do basic repairs. And because of the design of the phone, replacing the one thing that breaks all the time is the most intense process of them all, whereas like with an iPhone, you can just pop it up and your screen comes off, and, you know, the most breakable thing can easily come right off.
Also glass on glass. That's
glass
double
sandwich.
The glass for double the crackability. The back glass seems more prone to breaking, and it's definitely tedious to replace, but it's definitely not overly difficult for a non-pro to do, so that's something that you could do if you're feeling brave, or if you even weren't feeling brave. That's not terribly hard, and we'll sell those soon. What else can we say about this? Oh, so we mentioned earlier the Samsung partnership with You Break I Fix.
Yeah, so that's great. I mean, we always want to see manufacturers offering, you know, replacement parts and resources to private repair shops. So it's great. That's a start. They're letting out some of the information, but you need to share the wealth with everybody. There are only a limited number of U-Break iFix
like
stores.
300.
300.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what Apple's dealing with. Not enough stores to fix some of the most common things. So yeah, good start. We like it, but more please.
Yeah.
For the rest of us.
If you're giving U-Break iFix the parts and obviously the disassembly instructions, we want them too. So tell Samsung to give them to us and to you, or maybe we'll just keep asking Santa for them. So I think we're pretty much close to the end of our teardown. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll take a few more questions. I don't think we have any questions. So if you have any questions, get them in now. Someone asked if we have screen repair kits for an iPhone 6s. Yes. We do. So if you go to ifixit.com/kits, we have repair kits for all sorts of things on your iPhone. All versions of your battery. We're matching Apple's price on the $29 battery replacement, and in a lot of cases, our batteries are cheaper, as well as we are offering battery replacements for older generation iPhones where Apple's replacement program is not. Yeah,
still rocking a 4S or a 5. We've got all the screen, battery, and small parts too. So if you're having an issue with your charging port, that's not necessarily a reason to go and upgrade. That's still something that you can fix yourself. So if you're as attached to your phone as I am to mine, then definitely check out the kits.
Will we do the iPad mini as a teardown? I don't know. Maybe. Haven't we done it?
I think one of the other ones.
Yeah, Hiro's shaking his head yes. So we have done the iPad mini, so you can go to ifixit.com/teardowns, search for the iPad mini, and you should be able to see it there.
Yeah, and just like with the guides, if you want to do a teardown, you can contribute a teardown as well, and it'll end up on our page. So think about that when you go to check them out, get inspired. All of our guides have really, again, the full chip ID, tech specs, really awesome, detailed, high-quality images. You can blow them up and see like the tiniest thing on the board. So we take pride in that. So definitely go and check those out. The teardown for the S9 and the teardown video for the S9 and the regular teardown for the S9 Plus are also at ifixit.com/teardown as well. But so get those questions in. We'll still try to answer some, and we're going to pick our favorite to get that Manta bit kit if you want to see it again.
Yeah, so for anyone that missed this at the beginning, we are giving away our Manta driver kit. It's brand spanking new. No one has seen it yet, except you guys, and that's a thanks for tuning in and spending Friday with us, as well as us hitting 400,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. So if you want us to give away more stuff, keep following us and we will give away more stuff. So one more time, this is our Manta driver kit, 113 bits in this super awesome laser cut foam interior.
Really beefy handle to handle the bigger bits, aluminum drivers. And
so let's get a close up. Yeah.
All these beefy bits. And so this is one of the most, comprehensive, bit kits that we have. We've got bigger bits on there for larger projects, along with everything you need for electronics repair as well. And it's all stuck in this foam, and when you flip it over, your bits won't fall out. They're all nicely labeled, so it's really just an awesome set just to keep out on your workspace there. Put these back in.
And one thing we did want to mention, the display is covered in adhesive, and we just don't want to deal with that right now, so that's why we're not dealing with it, and we're not going to do it or handle that right now.
But if you want to sit with us for a whole nother hour, let us know. Maybe we'll do that in the future.
Yeah, if you enjoyed this live stream, let us know. We never do this, so if you want Kelsey and I to come back and do more live streams, let us know in the comments, and maybe if we weren't too silly, they'll let us come back. So
and give us some of your requests. We're tearing down popular devices, but we want to know what you guys want to see. So anytime you're seeing us on the socials, comment and tell us what you want us to tear down next, and we'll do more live events like this in the future. So
all right, well, I think that's about it. So thanks for tuning in, you guys. Be sure to give Ifixit a follow on social media. Give Kelsey and I a follow if you want to see our ridiculous exploits of life.
Weirdness.
Just weird.
So much weirdness. And stay tuned, because we'll be announcing the winner. When do you want to announce? Later today, tomorrow?
Yeah, let's pick an arbitrary time. Let's announce at noon today.
Noon today, cool.
Noon Pacific Standard Time. So for all of you friends tuning in from Egypt, Australia, all the other things, it's noon our time. So that'll be a great way for us to kick off our lunch break.
Cool, awesome.
Sweet.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.